What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your boy GemMint. Today we're going to talk about the statues that are on my wish list. Now, I've done what's on my PO list or my pre-order list in the past, but these are all statues that I've had my eye on. I'm really on the fence. I kind of want to get them, so I figured I'd make a video, talk about it, and get your guys' input here below. Before we jump into this, make sure you hit subscribe and the notification bell, and if you enjoyed this video, hit the like. Let's go ahead and jump into the statues that are on my wish list. So we're going to start off with something I've been talking about for a while here. It's the Prime 1 Studio Berserk line. Man, I want to get into this line so bad. Ever since I started reading the manga, I watched the anime, watched the movies, and I love this universe. These statues are quarter scale, and they're incredible. The first one here is Guts, the Black Swordsman. He's the main character of the series. I love the huge Buster sword, the Dragon Slayer sword that he's got. It's amazing. This statue has everything. He's got a huge cape. He's got a lot of different elements to the base with a lot of demons. You got the little Berserk logo on the base. It's a big, impressive piece, and unfortunately not available on Sideshow. I think it's available through Prime 1 themselves, but I don't know how the shipping really works on that. But I'm going to start looking into it. But the first one from the Berserk line is Guts. Then I got my eye on the Nosferatu Zod. I love this piece. He is a beast. This is his human form, even though his face doesn't look that human. I like how all the Berserk statues have similar bases with the same kind of design. You got the Berserk logo, and they have a ton of detail going on. He's got all the soldiers from that first encounter from the Golden Age arc series. They're all slain and defeated, and that's when Guts and Griffith run up on him in that kind of underground cavern of the castle kind of thing. I kind of like his Akuma-inspired face. I love that snout that he's got going on. It looks like he's got mixed media fur on his boots and on his garments and everything, so it looks amazing. I think this is another one that Sideshow's not carrying, so gonna have to look into it. One that Sideshow is carrying, and I'm thinking about just pulling the trigger right now, is the Femto, the Dark Falcon. This is Griffith being reborn as one of the God Hand, one of these demon apostles. He's coming out of the Baylet egg, and it's so freaky. Even in the manga, like, the way they draw that Baylet, which is actually the exclusive, it's so unsettling. And the base is gory. It's ripped right out of the series, man. You have, like, the faces on the ground, and it also had it in the sky. He looks awesome. He's got that kind of feminine, kind of Vega from Street Fighter type of vibe. Like, this pretty guy, like Prince or somebody, like, don't look in his eyes. But I like the helmet. He's got that Falcon helmet. And this is the evil Griffith. Awesome piece. I'm going to have to go a little bit all in here and then get the regular Griffith, the pre-Femto Griffith, which he still has the billet as the base, and he's got the sword sticking it, but he's got all the hawks around him. The Band of the Hawk is his mercenary group that he's the leader of. So you have all these hawks around him, feathers everywhere, and you got his elegant but very deadly persona going on there. It also comes with a Baylet exclusive, but this one is not where it's formed as the face yet. It hasn't been summoned yet. But Griffith from Prime 1. So another one that Sideshow does have for pre-order is Slan. She's one of the God Hand as well, one of the 4 big bad bosses from the end of the anime. She looks amazing. It's my wife's favorite character so far out of the manga. I think her and Casca. But she has her Medusa-type snake hair. She's got these wings. She's barely covered by them. Similar type of base as Femto from that scene when Griffith becomes Femto with all the bloody heads on the ground everywhere. Amazing piece. I love it. Now, I don't really love the exclusive. I forget his name because I don't really like that big, long pole that he's standing up to kind of be like floating next to her. Now, there's 2 members from the God Hand that are only on Prime 1's site right now. So first you have Conrad, who, it doesn't look like much in this picture, but if you watch the 360 spinning view, he's got like a body like a cockroach. It's super disgusting. It's got like this shell with these little teeny arms poking out the side. I'm not really sure how big this guy is. I mean, if he's got a big base like the rest, he's going to be this big turtle-looking cockroach type of creature. He's one of those evil demon gods. And they also have your boy Void. Same type of base as the other members of the God Hand, and he looks super creepy, something like from Mars Attacks. He's got the Berserker sign, which he ends up putting on everybody that's in the battle, which includes Guts, Casca, the Band of the Hawk, and then they're all marked for life. And it's super creepy if you look like where his arm stems from. It's like coming from where his knee should stem from. So super interesting piece, kind of plain as far as like just standing straight up, but that's how this character is. All right, lastly, and then we'll stop talking about Berserk, the Zod in a Paso form. Man, this is a 1/6 scale diorama, which is bigger than all the other statues that we just shown. You can see how massive he is as a demon in this form. And this takes place right after the scene that I mentioned with him in his human form. And this is how he fights Guts and Griffith. You see the fallen soldiers on the floor next to him, the humongous column. I believe he's got light up eyes. Super expensive piece. I think it's like $2,500. But it's something that I really want to get out here into the Gempire and review it for you guys, man. So that is the last of the Berserk statues. All right, moving on over. We have... Man, these PCS Collectibles Transformers are calling my name. I want to get these, man. This is the Starscream. These are inspired by the Generation 1 cartoon, which is what I grew up on. I did have the mini, or I do have it, actually, the mini Optimus Prime. I think it's called the museum scale, and then this is the classic scale, which more resembles a quarter scale piece. But because Transformers are like so large, they're not really quarter scale. They have to call it a different name. I like that little piece, but I actually have it in a charity raffle right now on Instagram, so I'm going to ship that off, and I'm not going to collect a smaller scale line, but I have my eye on these big ones. I love this cell-shaded look of the metal. Now, I don't know if it's painted like that. I think they're decals, which, you know, I don't know how people feel about that. I think it's cool. It's still a polystone statue with, like, and they might not be. I'm assuming they're decals. But I really like it. Now, I don't really need the companion pieces to this because these are like $800 statues. And I think you have, what, Skywarp, and then you have Thundercracker. I was never really familiar with those two guys, but they're essentially the same pose with a different color paint. So I don't really need that. I don't need 3 of these type of Starscream characters. But I definitely want Starscream, and I definitely want this right here. This looks amazing. I love the Cybertronian base. I love how they're metal bots, but they're still curved like a cartoon. I don't know how I feel about his big clear ball and chain. I guess it's pretty cool. But I definitely am digging this Megatron. Another thing, an expensive piece. That's why I'm just hesitant on these, but... Man, you got to do it for the channel. And then the last one that they've shown for this line so far is Optimus Prime. And I understand people don't really like his blockiness of his chest, and maybe he looks a little bit too chubby, but it looks good enough for me to go with those other 2 pieces. So I really want these 3 G1-inspired PCS Collectibles Transformers, cartoon but modern look. I'm not really a fan of the realistic take on the Transformers, so I'm definitely into those. Lastly, man... We're going to start getting into some DC pieces in the Gempire. I actually have this Superman coming in tomorrow from the day that I'm recording this. So from whenever you're watching this, you probably will already see the review. But I always really liked the Sideshow Collectible DC Premium Format line. So I'm going to start biting into that, man. I got the Superman. I'm probably going to go for Batman next. And the one that I'm really wanting to highlight here is this Doomsday, man. I love this one ever since I saw it at San Diego Comic-Con. I think it was 2018. It was so impressive. I don't think he really got a good reception from the community. I think the top half of him was a different material than polystone, and even one of the portraits was rubbery or something like that. So I'm not sure on the materials, but man, I really like this piece. I think it will companion really well with Superman, and I always wanted to review it. I really like Doomsday, like Death of Superman and Return of Superman was like one of the first trade paperbacks I've ever owned. So that's something that I definitely resonates with me as a character, which is kind of why I always stayed away from DC pieces. Like, I love DC Comics. I read and review a lot of their stuff, but the characters just never really resonated with me as much as the Marvel characters. But Superman, Batman, Doomsday, I could definitely get with, and I want to start building a little DC line above all the DC omnibus here. Those are the statues that are on my wish list. These are the ones that I want the most right now. I think about them every day. I've yet to pull the trigger. But let me know what you think, man. They're all big investments, but, you know, I get to review them. I get to share them with you guys. So let me know what you think about my wish list in the comments down below. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. We are almost at 75,000 subscribers. We're giving away that Diamond Select Thanos from Infinity War once we hit 75K. And we're probably going to hit that within, like, the next 9 days or so. So, you know, from the day that this drops. So make sure to like this video, comment on this video. I'm going to pick a random video where I promoted this giveaway, and we're going to just do a drawing based on the comments on that video during one of our live shows. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Stay minty fresh. Peace.